Thanks for tuning in to Hoops Hitting Gems podcast. I'm your host, David Jones. Man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Man, it's been a crazy weekend. Been traveling all over the place, and I'm tuning in from Orlando. I want to thank you guys for sticking with us. This is episode 25. Again, thank you guys for being solid with us. The base is growing. The subscription base is growing. Thank you for tuning in to Love the Game podcast. Thank you for tuning in to SUV TV, also sponsors of the show as well. We got a really good show tonight. I had Coach Jaleel Taylor from New Jersey College University. Man, how you doing?
Good, and yourself, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Coach Taylor's on the women's side, and previous to the show kicking off, we were just really getting up to date on New Jersey College University, and man, I was just so impressed, and, I just want to drop the knowledge on the listeners about what we were talking about. Tell us a little bit more about New Jersey College and University. Now, I know it's a D3 school, and, one of the big stigmas about Division III schools is a lot of people want to try it out, but unfortunately, a lot of D3 schools are expensive, and with them being expensive, that negates, unfortunately, a lot of your low-income people or even middle income, because some of your D3s can get up to $30,000, $40,000, unfortunately, which is a lot of money. Do not get me wrong. It's a lot. But, one of my big things about advocating for D3, I wanted to find D3 schools that were affordable and even possibly with academic money and Pell Grant money, you can possibly go to school for free or get money back in your pocket. And you guys just happen to be one of them. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. So tell me a little bit more about New Jersey College University, man.
All right. Well, first and foremost, David, I thank you for having me. It's a blessing, this opportunity, and to talk about NJCU and everybody who's not from New Jersey or may say New Jersey College, but it's actually New Jersey City University.
New Jersey City University.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because we're located in Jersey City, New Jersey.
I love the mall there. Love the mall in
Jersey. Yeah. So I came on staff last year with the head coach of the guru. I call him the guru, Coach Pat Devaney. He brought me on. I was a high school head coach prior from Hillside High School. But, we've been doing some great things, and he's been there for 3 years. I just give you a quick rundown before I go into just the academic part. So, because I got to give I call him, like I said, the guru, because he knows everything about basketball. He always says that we're learning from each other. But his first year, they didn't win a game at all. Wow. They went 0-21. Second year, went 13-14, made it to the semifinals of the conference playoffs, lost to Montclair State University. And this year, when I came on staff, since day one, with everything with COVID going on, he said, if you want to be great, if you want to be legendary, if you want to make history, because we've never won a conference championship for women's basketball. So he was like, we want to be legendary. He was like, it doesn't matter about the pandemic. It doesn't matter about anything else. He was like, we're focused on, it doesn't matter. We had one game. It was one game to decide who's going to be the NJAC champion. We wanted to be us. And, the girls bought in, coaching staff bought in, and we got the job done. We ended up beating Montclair State this year for the New Jersey Athletic Conference. First time in school history. The girls will be forever known. They have a banner up there, and we're building. And from that, it's unheard of for Division IIIs to bring in out-of-state players, as far as student athletes, because of the cost. Yes. So in-state is around 12 to 13,000, and out-of-state is from 17 to 18,000, which is really affordable. But exactly. we only recruit 3.3s and up. Our team GPA is a 3.6. Wow. So the girls are handling it on the court and in the classroom as well. We have study hall. If you have over 3.0, that's fine. But some schools like, all right, you have over 3.0, you don't need study hall. Doesn't matter. If you have a 3.0 and above, you're still in study hall with us. So academic, we're making sure that we're not setting you up for the next four, but for the next 40. That's exactly what that Coach Pat says. The three girls that just graduated for us all are already starting their careers. That's the main thing. He said, basketball is nice, but basketball eventually ends for everybody.
Exactly.
So that's one thing that he always preaches to the young ladies. But we have this recruiting class that we have coming in is something special. I don't want to, put any jinx, but it's really special from the returners that we have coming in from last year. Our freshman last year, who was also a captain as a freshman, she won Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year.
Wow.
Shout out to Damaris Rodriguez. She was almost a 2,000 point scorer at a high school. And if we would have had like a full season of this year for the COVID season, nowhere possible. I know she would have almost like 500 points right now. I think she scored almost close to 300 in the 11 games that we had. Yeah, so she's amazing, and we have I don't want to well we've announced who's coming. So we have like Lainey Fox from Florida, a transfer coming from Florida. We have Nyla Boyd from Thompson, Georgia. Okay. Yeah, so it's a blessing. It really is a blessing. Yeah.
So what I want to touch is, man, and I want to touch not only the academic part, but let's go back to the cost real quick. So You said 17 to 18, and yes. Tell me some more about the scholarships that you guys provide.
Sure. So if you have anything over a 3.5, you'll receive the vice presidential scholarship or the presidential scholarship. Vice presidential scholarship ranges from $10,000, and the presidential scholarship is anywhere between $12,000. Now, if you have over a 4.0, you can get into the honors program where that covers tuition. So
that covers everything?
Yes. Only thing is that the honors program will cover tuition, and also with the COVID relief we have, that's like something new that we have something going on. Mm-hmm. For far as the dorm rooms, but ofhousing is really not covered. But what we did was we have an apartment for the girls. That's
okay.
So instead of paying $9,000 for a dormitory, which is ridiculous every year, and we have 3 dormitories, 2 on campus, 1 off campus, and we try to put the girls in the most nicest, which is 1 off campus, but the one off campus is the most expensive. We knew we were losing recruits that way, so the girls decided to get an apartment, and literally our incoming freshmen and some of our transfers and recruits are staying in an apartment together, and instead of paying $9,000, they're paying maybe close to $200 a month, if that. But the girls make it work. They've just been settled in. It's literally a block. They can walk to class. It's literally nowhere from the university. So that was another option. So with us, some girls who are in the honors program, they're not paying for the dorm. So it kind of works in your favor either way. We try to set the young ladies up not to be paying crazy amount of money or being in debt. That's one thing we don't want being in debt.
So do you guys have like a work study program as well that they can take advantage of?
I'm glad you actually mentioned that. 3 of our incoming freshmen all received jobs already.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the arena that we play in, the athletes almost get a first come first serve sense. Some can be lifeguards in the summertime, which is we have a pool inside of our arena. Some can work in the weight room. They can be weight room attendants. Can work the front desk. Then we have on campus at the bookstore. But the student athletes, as long as they're doing what they have to do in the classroom, they get first dibs on jobs.
Nice. I like that. So let's talk some more before we go into basketball. Academically, what programs do you have at New Jersey City University?
One that shocks a lot of people, we do have an engineering program, and I'll talk about that because we have an incoming freshman, Olivia, who came from IC Montclair in New Jersey, and she wants to be an engineer, a civil engineer, and that was something that me my first year coming along, I had to make sure we had that. This is a point guard that will fit nice what we have already, and Coach Pat, he looked into it. We both looked into it, and we found out we had it. And we also have it's also a dual major with NJIT.
Wow. Okay.
So once Olivia finishes her bachelor's, she'll go into a 2-year program, getting her master's in engineering.
Yes.
NJIT. So
NJIT is right down the street from you guys, right?
Exactly. Literally.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So that's and we're also known as a criminal justice school. Our head coach. He also graduated. He's alumni from NJCU. He preaches the CJ majors. Our psychology department, the English department is awesome. Like I said, my wife is NJCU alumni as well. She's been an English teacher for over 11 years now. And when I got the job, she was like, "You're going to my alma mater," because she worked so hard for that English degree, and NJCU set her up for life.
Yes.
So we're a family school. We're one of the most diverse schools in New Jersey. So when you come to the school, you're not going to just see African American. You're going to see Indian. You're going to see Hispanic. You're going to see everybody from different walks of life. So we call ourselves one of the biggest families in New Jersey as well. We're one of the smallest campuses, but one of the biggest families.
Let me ask this as well, as since we're still on academics, do you guys only have 4-year degrees, or do you also have graduate degrees as well?
We have graduate degrees as well, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and that leads into my next question. So if I wanted to go to NJCU after I finish my 4 years, can I come back and be a grad assistant or something to that extent? Because I'm always big on that and to see where schools are at on that as well.
That's another great question. And Pat, our head coach, Pat Devaney, he's known for hiring his own. So hiring me was like I'm hiring an outsider, but he believed in what I did at the high school level, and he's giving me an opportunity to do it at the college level. But prior to that, on our coaching staff is Makira Brown, who played for him, and she's an assistant coach, and Jacinia, who's there now, she's also a player that played for him, and also Jordan, he played for the Mel's team, and so he's always looking to hire, within NJCU to get him, if they want to start coaching, get him a shot. And we have a new coach this year who is sort of like a grad assistant, but she just graduated from with her bachelor's, Marasia Bacon. Yeah, she has a twin sister, and when they were there, they were phenomenal players. So he's always looking to hire, within the NJCU, just to give back, and let them know that they have an opportunity to coach it at this different level.
Nice. And it sounds like you said, it sounds like you guys have a really good family atmosphere. And for me as a parent, and if I was, I like to hear about the program, but I like to hear that stuff as well, because to me, that's the important stuff. And also that's the stuff that lasts beyond basketball once it stops bouncing as well, as we talked about.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna lead into some of the basketball stuff as well. So tell me about your conference and tell me about NJCU and, just tell me about, what you guys got going on there.
Sure. So like I was telling you in the beginning, the NJCU women's basketball was not known. The men's side was definitely known with Coach Charlie Brown, who the court is named after. His son is now the head coach, Mark Brown. He's been there for about 15 years as well. The men's basketball team was always known. Every program other than men's basketball was not really known. This COVID year was like an outcoming for all sports. Women's basketball won the conference. Men's basketball won the conference. Men's volleyball won the conference. We have an esports game. They won their conference. Tennis. Our tennis program won the conference. Our track team was 1 point away from winning the conference. So all of the sports at NJCU are on the rise. So we're not just the ones doing, women's basketball is just, raising for recruitment, but bowling did phenomenal. It's just like, we're all doing really well. But yeah, definitely from Coach Pratt first coming in and seeing, he was on the men's side and he was on a winning side. So he knew how to win. That this is the guy that knows how to win. But he knew that when he came into the program, he had to shake some things up. And he needed, a great coaching staff behind him to do the same thing, to buy in. And I can tell you, literally from day one, when I stepped foot on the court in September, it was rough. Girls we had to teach. One thing I love about women's basketball, you get to teach the game over and over and over and over again. Sometimes us fellas, we think we know everything already. So what coach got to say. But the young women on our team, they were hungry to learn. Hungry to get better. And when Coach Pat said be legendary, that was one of our things. And our team motto is one family, one vision, one mission. Because we're a family together, we got the same vision, and we have to complete that mission together.
Absolutely.
So every before every practice, at the end of every practice, we said that, and it was just a transition. And even with the COVID, with the pandemic, we got shut down a couple of times. Not necessarily with us, but other teams. But we for weeks went past, and we weren't sure if we were going to play or have a game. The girls never lost sight. They came to practice every day, even when it snowed during the season too. Oh man, we still had a full team at practice.
Okay.
And a lot of our girls, some that don't stay on campus, they commute. They still made their way to practice. And what people like, oh, they hit D3, and like, oh, the conference, they're just picking up girls up. No, the New Jersey Athletic Conference, we call it the NJAC, is one of the most competitive conferences in D3.
Okay.
Literally. You have Montclair State, who's been to the Final Four before in D3 national, in the tournament in the NCAA's. You have Kane University, who's always at the top at some point. You have Ramapo, you have TCNJ, so we compete. We definitely compete, and nobody gave us the opportunity this year to, we were saying it to ourselves. We didn't need anybody to believe in us but ourselves, and literally we started off 6-0. And when we went 6-0, everybody was like, okay, they're making some noise. They're beating some teams they're not supposed to beat, from prior years. And then when the playoffs started, the first round was a little shaky for us. We played a team for the third time, William Patterson, and they gave us a run for our money, but we pulled it out. And then we played the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed at the TCNJ in the semifinals, and to beat them by 10 was like, they were like, oh, wait a minute. But then it was like, all right, you got to play the number 1 seed again, Montclair State. And, we lost to them twice in the regular season. So everybody was like, it was a good run for them. But one thing that, I was saying during practice time, I was like, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yes, it is.
I was like, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. We know everything about them. They know everything about us. But what they haven't seen out of us is our best game. So when we went there, and literally it's still, still to my, I still enjoy it, but I know that we're past it. Looking forward to the 21-22 season.
Yeah, definitely. But listen, man, that's something. That's a building block. I mean, like you said, you hung that banner, so you got a taste of what winning is supposed to be like. And you said, this is a program that you guys are building, and everybody knew about men's basketball, and you feel like this is the women's time. So absolutely, man, absolutely. So you said you got 3 out of states, which is huge for a D3. Tell me about your roster that you got for this year.
All right, first and foremost, like I said, I started with the freshman that will be in now. She'll be a freshman on the court again, because with the COVID relief, everybody get their year back. Yeah. So she'll be a freshman again, but a sophomore in the classroom. Damaris Rodriguez, who was our team captain as a freshman, and also the player of the year, the Met player of the year, the region player of the year. This girl is phenomenal. She's definitely one of the top point guards, hands down, in Division III. She'll be with us. We have Najima Holmes, who literally has a great background story, from Elizabeth, New Jersey as well. Mm-hmm. She has a great background story, and she hit the game-winning layup for us against Montclair State. She'll be a sophomore in the classroom and a freshman again as well. Brianna Davis, 6'4" returner. 6'4" returner. We call her Big Baby. Because when you talk to her, she's 6'4", but she talks really, really soft, really quiet, but the most humblest girl you ever want to meet. But she'll run through a brick wall for you. She's hungry to get better. You have Emily Ruiz, who's going to be a senior this year, a kid that's a workhorse off the bench. In practice, the way she practices, you would think she starts. So you have, we have a lot of return as far as Jasmine Reese, who was injured last year, who's coming back though. She tore her ACL, but Jasmine is another. Well, when she gets on the court, it's a scary sight. She's a small forward for us. Transfers coming in, Lainey Fox she's transferring from Lenoir Ryan D2.
Yes.
So she's transferring us, and a knockdown shooter, a knockdown shooter. Nala Boyd, who's a guard from Georgia. She's a speed demon on defense. She led steals on her team at high school last year. Looking for her to do the same thing as us. Mm-hmm. We run a full court 100-man press. We're known as the bullies on the court. So we have Tamesia Ransom, a graduate student that came in. Allison Reed from Massachusetts, another one, out-of-state girl who's transferring in. Okay. So, like I said, it's definitely a scary sight, but a good sight. We have Kyla Craddock from North Tech. Wow, just me talking about these young ladies, I'm getting excited about it already.
Man, you guys are hitting that recruiting trail hard.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask this as well. So, even with you guys being a high academic, do you guys consider hitting the portal at all?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Hey, gotta ask. Gotta ask.
Of course. And that's how I got Lanny Fox, actually, by looking at the portal.
Okay.
She was a Division II. I went on a whim. It's not heard of for Division II to go Division III. They want to stay Division II or go up. So I contacted Lanny, and she said, Coach, actually nobody's gotten in contact with me. So I was like, you know what? Well, I am, man. Let's see if we can do some things.
Okay.
And I introduced her to Coach Pat, and her and her mom actually flew from Florida. They got to play in the summer league with us, and right then and there, she was like, "It feels like family." Feels like family. So, and she committed right then and there. So, it's been a great thing. One thing that I've learned, because I was also a college football coach at William Patterson University, which is another D3 in New Jersey as well. And one thing that I learned as a college coach is recruiting is 24/7.
Yes, it is.
Recruiting, that's 80 or 90% of your job. The 10% is coaching, and everything else falls in place. But if you're not recruiting, you're not doing your job. And that's one thing that me and Coach Pat and Coach Makera, Coach Jordan, and also Coach Yesenia, we all came together and said, if we don't get out here, we're not going to continue to be, we're not going to win another NJAC. So for us to continue to be one of the top programs, we need to continue to bring the top girls in here, not just the top athletes, but the top, student athletes that can do it the academic way as well.
So let me ask this: so you're considered the recruiting coordinator for the team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir. Everybody has their role. So Coach Makera, she handles all of the logistics as far as student schedules, study halls. She's on point. As far as the uniforms and everything, as far as ordering new stuff. Coach Makera, hands down, she's the workhorse too for the coaching side. Coach Yesenia, she's our social media guru as well. She works the social media process. She edits, she does, everything. Coach Jordan is skill development, and Coach, myself, I do the recruiting coordinator, and Coach Pat. Yeah, that's the man right there. That is, that man works endlessly, like literally.
Nice.
Yep.
So let me ask this as well. Are you guys considered an Adidas, a Nike, Puma school? What are you guys considered?
We are Adidas.
Adidas. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Man, you guys have checked off everything, and man, I'm glad to have brought you on the show. And especially, like I said, man, when we first started talking and you just brought up these points, and I was like, oh man, I definitely got to bring this up, man. And with the NJAC, I have to do some more research on the NJAC. I knew about Montclair State, William Patterson, and Keene. I knew about those three.
Yeah.
New Jersey City University. No, I didn't know. And like I said, I'm always willing to learn about new schools. But man, you guys check all the boxes, and you're recruiting out of state, and it's affordable. I promise you will hear a lot more for some of the people down south. I can guarantee you that, man. And so let me ask this as well, since you are the recruiting guy, and I know you guys have a budget, more than likely you're going to a bunch of the live periods probably up at Spooky Nook, correct?
Correct. And you know what? And the thing is, though, too, one thing about me, I've always been known as the underdog as an athlete. I was highly recruited, but wasn't highly recruited, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
So I always want to go to even the small, if we're having something at Sportica. If they're having something at Sportica, I'm going to Sportica. The big hoop group tournaments I go to, of course. And Spooky Nook, of course, I've been there. But you will be surprised at how many diamond in the roughs I find at the Hoop Heavens tournaments, or just the small, just the small guys that really deserve a little bit more bigger credit. So one of my good friends, Mr. Lee, CJ Lee, who has tournaments all over from Hoop Heaven to Peak and Mountainside. He has his tournaments every week. Literally, I was able to recruit endlessly every weekend. He was calling me, Jalil, I have a team from Virginia coming. Jalil, I have a team from New York coming. I have a team from Maryland coming. And, for the fact that, he's giving me first dibs to be there was a blessing in disguise as well. Because, people didn't, what is New Jersey City University? Where is that? And now that the parents have actually done their own research, so it's a great thing. And I'll also give a shout out real quick to Coach Mark Mitchell at St. Peter's. he had gave me an invite to come to his camp. And he was like, listen, every girl isn't going Division I. I'm going to have some girls here that are, you're going to want to look at. And boy, did he, so, so for them, yeah, it was definitely a great event. And that was just something that, he called me for last week. And it was awesome, an awesome event.
Absolutely, man. And, this whole business is about networking. And, and when I could say, I know a guy, or you could say, I know a guy, and especially when it's for the betterment of a student athlete / a young kid still. And I mean, that's what this is supposed to be about. And man, I'm blessed to have you in my Rolodex now. I know that much, man, because I mean, you guys are out there working, and you're working hard, and you're trying to build a program into something big. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of kids that want to be a part of that. Absolutely. They want to be big. And man, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. The next time I'm in Jersey City, I trust me, I like riding the train because, at one time I considered living in Liberty Towers in Jersey City. So, as you can tell, I know just a little bit about Jersey City. And, I told you I knew about Elizabeth as well, since I used to work in Morristown anyway. Elizabeth was close to the airport. Yeah. But man, listen, I look forward to coming up there and checking it out, man, because boy, you guys sound like you got something cooking up there. And I'm sure we'll be in touch through email, through phone, whatever the case may be, because, you just never know. It's somebody that may catch your attention. I'll say, hey, I have somebody. Or you may give me a call and ask me about somebody in Georgia. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you might want to get this one. Or I might say, hey, man, she's going big time, But as a D3 person, listen, it never hurts, because I tell people all the time, if you're the first one to offer, people always remember that, always. And it may not work that first year, but if she goes big and it doesn't work and she's looking to transfer down, hello, there you are. You know what I'm saying? So you know how these relationships work, and you know how to recruit. I'm not even worried about that. It's just having you in my network, and with me being from Pennsylvania and knowing about Jersey as well, I can't wait to get up there and see what you guys are all about. So, man, definitely send me a schedule so I can get up there and check you guys out and come check out a practice, man, okay?
I definitely will. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to, to even talk about NJCU. And it's every opportunity that's given is a blessing. And, that's really it, man. I really appreciate you having me.
Man, anytime, man. Like I said, I look forward to next time. I'll probably bring you and the head coach on, man, so you guys can talk together about this, man, because like I said, it's a D3 opportunity that's affordable. And man, you can go back and watch a number of the podcasts from previous times. I advocate big for D3, because what's going to end up happening for you, and I can see this, that young lady probably that's a freshman, she's probably going to get an opportunity to go play overseas, which is going to pay huge dividends for you guys. That's huge. And with that being said, that's another thing I'm so big about, because people just have this stigma. Oh, it's D3. Oh, you can't do this. Man, people go overseas and play professionally all the time from D3, man. And we're just trying to get rid of that stigma. Oh, it's D2, it's D3, it's NAI. Well, what's your long game? What you trying to do?
Exactly.
So, man, like I said, man, I thank you so much for coming on the show, man, because, we're just trying to dispel those rumors and myths about D3 basketball. And like I said, we'll have you on the show again, man. Man, you take care, Coach Taylor, and I appreciate you so much, all right?
Most definitely. When you come down, we got to go to Eli's.
Oh, man, stop it, man. Stop it, man. You already know, boy. I listen, for my listeners, that Chicken Murphy, if you ever get a chance to go to Eli's, get it. Trust me, you will be a new person. Trust me. But yeah, man, we will definitely go check out Eli's, man. Definitely. You have a good one, man. You take care, okay?
You're the same.
All right, take care. That was Coach Taylor from New Jersey City University. Man, I'm big on learning new programs that I'm not familiar with. And when I connected up with Coach Taylor, man, when he started talking, my eyes lit up about the program, because, number one, it's affordable. As a D3, unfortunately, there's some D3s, yes, they do cost a lot of money. And, sometimes, they'll say it's a return on investment. Yes. Well, everybody's not, they're not in a position to pay $30,000, $40,000. And I get that. Trust me, I get it. But what people don't understand, when you find these affordable options, trust me, I'm going to bring them on the show so people can do their own research and see if it makes sense. Like you said, you have a presidential option. And if you're getting 12.5 as an academic student, if you're full Pell is 6.5, you automatically are getting money back. And if you're work study eligible, that's more money that's in your own pocket. And we're trying to get people to understand we don't want people to be in debt. And as a good friend of mine, Corey Black, says, man, you want this to be D-free. So it doesn't matter what division it is. If you're going for free, that's what all that matters. My next guest, definitely a good friend of the Love of the Game podcast. And that's how I was introduced to him. And very good guy as well. He comes from an NAIA school right here, right in Atlanta. I'll say it. It's an NAIA powerhouse. Life University. People that haven't done the research, you need to do your research. They are for real. And for you people that like to sleep on NAIA basketball, go here and see if you think you're going to kill. You'll be sadly mistaken. So we got Coach Kevin Easley coming on. How you doing, Coach?
All right, Dave. Good to have. Glad you have me on here, man. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem, man. No problem. Man, as I was bringing you on, one of the things that upsets me so much is people do not understand the type of program you have at Life University, man. Everybody thinks, if I go to Life, I'm going to put up 25 or 30 a game. You are sadly mistaken if that's the case, sadly. And I definitely want to talk about Life because, people that are in the basketball world outside of Atlanta understand that Life is a traditional power in the NAIA field, right? And I just wanted you to talk some more about Life, and we're going to talk about the program. We're going to talk about academics. And, man, I'm excited to have you on, man, because what I want people to understand when I say Life University, man, you better come and bring your lunchbox or it's going to be a long day when you play Life.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the kind words, Dave. One of the things that the misconception is, of course, is NAIA basketball is a next tier high school basketball, and that's not the case.
Yes.
For us, we've won 3 national championships, 2 national runner-ups in the history of Life. And, we're trying to build this thing back up, and we're trying to do it, the right way with guys that want to get their degree. Academics has become a major priority for my athletic director. Some of the initiatives that she's put out for the next few years is obviously for us to be successful on the court, but off the court, graduate guys and make sure that they're getting what they're supposed to from, their athletic experience and their academic experience as well. So we try to provide that. In turn, we have to recruit the best basketball players that we can find, regardless of whether they're high school transfers, Division I, Division II. We look for the guys that fit what we do. And, for the most part, we've had a good run to kind of find it. Had some bad luck with COVID the last year. Thought we had a chance to be really, really good, but 3 COVID shutdowns and missed 34 practices. It was really tough to get some continuity within our team, but I was very pleased that we were able to actually play this year. I think that was remarkable. Our administration put together some really good things to help us. They had some really good things in place for us to be able to play those games, and we were able to get some games. And I think at the end of the day, most people will say that they were just glad to have the opportunity to play the games. And, we didn't have the record, we were about average, average season. The record wasn't where we wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, guys got a chance to play after being stuck in their dorm rooms for days upon days. I mean, we had so many shutdowns. I was so worried about, the mental health aspect of it. And we had conversations as a team and things of that nature, how it affected us. But, being able to go out and play, have those guys get on the court, I think was a release from a lot of the stuff that we're going through now, even still.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things, and I just had to touch on this, can you let the listeners know how many D1s or D2s you got that transferred into Life?
So I would say I probably on an average, I was going on my 4th year. I have an average of about 2 or 3 per year. Last year, I think we had maybe 5 total, maybe 6 total on our roster. And, you know, it's funny because a lot of times those guys come in thinking, hey, I'm going to go get 20 like everyone else.
Yeah.
And they sadly see, you know, this is tough. I mean, I had a player come to me, and I won't name his name, in my 3 years, so that definitely won't give it away. And he was like, Coach, man, I don't understand. Like, I should be killing out here. What's wrong with my game? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, like, they're coming to play you. They know who you are. So every night they're trying to prove that they're better than you. So
yes,
sure, you know, like, you respect the level, make sure that, you know, you're prepared mentally and physically to go out there and give your best.
Absolutely. And you know, that's one of the big things, as you know, one of the good friends on the show, Coach Cabral Huff, was saying, you know, people will be surprised, you know, when they come see what NAI ball is all about. We know, because, you know, we run an AAU organization, and we know what life's all about, you know, and that's why we've been so big to say, hey, we need to get over to life. And when Madre brought some of the team over there, they left like, hey, those guys are pretty good. Yeah, we know. That's why we make sure we take you guys to these games, NAI, Division II and Division III, so you can see what it's like. And even some of the kids are starting to say, some of these teams are better than some of the low Division I's. Thank you. You guys are starting to finally see what it's about. And, man, you know, it's really an education, because it's so, like you said, it's bigger than just basketball, but you also want to educate them to say, listen, there's people from life that'll end up going to play professionally somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had my time in my 3 years, I've had 8 guys to play professionally. So it can happen, you know, and they're not getting the top tier contracts. I mean, but let's be honest, there's not a lot of Division I's that are getting those top tier contracts. I've coached one guy that I can think of off the top of my head that came out of college and was making a top tier contract. And now at this point, he's been over there for a long time. He's one of the most well-known guys out there, and he's making about $3 or $4 million a year. Yeah. But he was a special case. There's not very many that are like that, because at the same time, people don't understand it's not just about basketball. How do you market yourself? What does your brand look like? Can you get over and adapt to you know, the culture there? How are you with the kids? You know, are you able to go into clinics and in camps and shake hands and kiss babies? And are you able to do those kind of things? And if you're marketable and you're able to do that, I think you'll have some success. But it's not just about if I get 20. Like, they look at winning, they look at measurables, and obviously, you know, the things that you like, your reputation. Like, people say your reputation precedes you. Like, they ask everyone, you know, how's this guy? Is he coachable? And what I do is I'm 100% honest. I love all my guys. I'll help them as much as I can. But if I have a guy that I don't think is, you know, supposed to be, you know, he's not coachable, I'm not going to say, hey, he's the most coach. I'm going to be honest, because I may have that one guy that is, and he may not get that opportunity because I wasn't honest. But, you know, from this level, you 100% can play. If you're good, they're going to find you. And again, it's not all about what you do on the floor. Like, you have to have a little bit of luck as well. This day and age with COVID, the jobs are absorbed over there. There's not very many, you know, professional basketball jobs out there, especially for entry level guys. I mean, if you're 6'8", 6'9", can jump, runs, can shoot, pass, dribble, you got a great chance. If you're 6'1" to 6'4", I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be pretty good. Yeah, you do. And there's some guys out there that are like that, and they'll get their opportunities. But this level produces that all the time. And people just don't understand, like, man, if I go D1, it doesn't matter. If you go D1 and average 3 a game, or if you go to NAI and average 15, 11 to 15, you're going to have a better chance.
Exactly.
It is what it is. And I get it. I played Division I. I was recruited heavily by NAI schools, and a couple of D1s jumped in at the very last minute. And I'm just like every other kid. I want to go D1. I want to go D1. Looking back on it, I would have had a better career. I played behind pros. If I would have went to NAI, I would have been able to play a lot more. They wanted me more than I wanted them. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the code that I live by, is like, you know, go to the person who wants you more than you want them. It'll typically work out. And then that ties into the professional route, like we talked about before. Like, you'll have the kind of success that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Tell me about the conference life is in. I know about a couple of the schools down there, but tell me about the conference you guys play in and, what you guys coming up. So I just want to touch on a couple of these things.
Okay. So we're in the toughest conference in NAIA, the Mid-South. And I've coached in the OVC, I've coached in the Southern Conference, I've coached in the Big South, and I've coached in the CAA. And this conference is very comparable to the Big South. There's teams in our league, like Shawnee State could have finished in the top 3 in the Big South. May have even been able to win it this past year. I mean, Winthrop's got a great program, so I don't want to talk about them or anything like that. But like Shawnee State was that good. Georgetown's been a perennial power. We've had a ton of success in that league as well. Obviously, last couple of years have not had the success that we would have liked, but we're getting back to that point. But you have, Lindsey Wilson, who's good, Pikeville, who's had some success. The Cumberland's Kentucky, who they always find a way to be in the mix. Cumberland's Tennessee, who, they have a tremendous coach over there who always gets the most out of his guys. And, we have some new, Freed Hardeman's in there, Martin Methodist. They've done a really good job. Bethel has had some success in the leagues that they were in. I mean, I don't hope I don't leave anybody out, but there are some really, really good teams in this league and from top to bottom. I mean, there's no, we can win this game tonight if we don't play well. It doesn't matter. Like the bottom team can beat the top team any night. That's just the way it is. And it's not like that in every league. Next year we'll be going to the Southern States. That's going to eventually be just like the league that we're in now, where you have like Dalton, who's terrific. You have Talladega, who's been a powerhouse for the last few years.
Yes.
Loyola, who's really good. Stillman, who's had some really good success the last couple of years. So, I mean, it's going to be a really, really, really Faulkner, who's been great the last 2 or 3 years. Everyone lost the last 2 years. So you look at those teams, like they're beating those top teams. They're beating low major teams. Like it's not even close. And there's a reason why those teams won't play. You look at people's schedules, and some of those schools that I rattled off were not be on Division I schedules. Or that's just being honest. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, those leagues are great. We're excited about joining Southern States. It helps us with travel, logistically. We'll miss the Mid-South. I mean, it's really, really great basketball there, but we are excited about joining the Southern States because we truly believe that that's probably, 1A, 1B, or 1C of the top conference in the country.
Exactly. We're going to touch a little bit on academics as well.
Okay.
What does life offer from an academic standpoint? What type of degrees do they offer at Life?
Okay, so we are we're a chiropractic. We're known for a chiropractic. We're the leading chiropractic school in the country. Mm-hmm. We have around 3,000 students. So a lot of times people think, oh, so you're no, they don't. They're not doing chiropractic while they're in undergrad, right? Mm-hmm. So that I want to dispel that rumor. But we have like exercise science, popular major, business is very popular, psychology, nutrition, biopsychology as well, computer information technology, and then biology are like the ones that most people major in. We're in the process of getting like education and possibly communications and things like that. We are a fairly new school, founded in 1974. So we're still, developing the infrastructure to be able to have, more majors and be able to house more students. The campus, the school is growing at an alarming rate. I think 6 years ago we were like at 5 or 6 sports, and now we're at 23 sports.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I think we're adding. So, I mean, our administration is doing an unbelievable job of growing the school. And, it's a school that, you hear about athletically and things of that nature, but you really get a good degree from Life as well.
Okay. So if I'm considering Life as a student athlete, what type of GPA do I need to get into Life?
So that's kind of a trick question. Athletically, we would do some things to try, if you are a struggling student, we'll look at a lot of different factors, the school you went to and how well you did your last couple of semesters and things like that. Typically for us, I try to get guys with at least a 2.5. That's just kind of a rule that I have. In my, experience, if the higher the GPA, the more they try. You know what I'm saying? Like, that they're going to get. So if they try, equate that, they'll try on the court as well. I just think it's really hard to get a 2.0 GPA. Like you have to really not try. So, you know, some cases we can get a 2.0 in, and some cases that we can. I think it's a case by case basis. So, you know, that's kind of the enrollment kind of thing. I mean, obviously from an NAI perspective, you have to have a minimum of an 860, SAT, an 18 ACT, and you have to be in the top, you know, 50% of your class. You have to have 2 out of 3 of those to actually be eligible for NAIA. So you don't have to have all 3. If you check 2 or 3 of those boxes, you will have an opportunity, you know, to be eligible to play.
So is Life a test option school or not?
You know, we've had some instances, especially with the COVID thing, where that has been, you know, waived, where they don't look at that. You know, NAI has done some things as well with that. We do have instances where, you know, again, special cases to where we can, you know, we will waive that. We do a very good job of, like, again, it's a case by case basis. You know, if you have a low test score, let's say you took the test in when you were a junior, when you didn't have the test, we still would like to see what your test scores are. What that does is it gives us a great, you know, sample size of where, you know, our academic advisors can place you in the classroom. You know, they want to make sure you're placed in the right classes. We don't want to have someone who may test in a certain area and then put them in one of the highest Englishes that there should be in, when they need to actually do the lower tier English to get ready for that top tier English.
Exactly. And I like that. So Life only offers 4-year degrees. They don't have a master's program, correct?
Absolutely. We have a master's program. Okay. We have actually one of my players now who graduated. Proud of him. Great story. But he's getting ready to get his 5th year in and get his master's degree. You know, we're recruiting some graduate guys right now as well. So yeah, we have masters. We have some that you can graduate in a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, some that's strictly online. We have some that, you know, will take a little bit, and then some that will matriculate into the DC program, as we call it, Doctor of Chiropractic. So yes, we definitely have a master's program.
So with you having a master's program, can I come back as one of your former players to say, Coach Easley, can I be a GA?
100%. I'm actually looking and talking to a couple of guys for that right now. You know, I love to hire former players if they fit the bill, and, you know, as somebody that I you know, as a coach, you know, hey, this guy might be a coach one day. Like, you know it, you can see it, and, you know, you want to help those guys out, and I think that's incredibly paramount to be able to help guys that have helped you. And if it's something that they want to do and pursue, that you can show them the way, and, you know, they believe in what you do. Obviously, if they've stuck with you long enough to graduate, they believe in what you do and how you do things.
And let me ask you this question, just stepping away from that side of things. How big are you on player development?
Oh my goodness. So for us, player development is huge. We lost out on that last year because of COVID. You know, obviously in NAI, you split a lot of gym time. And last season, you know, we split a lot of gym time. So we had to split our groups up a lot. Big on it. I worked for Kevin Keats, who's at UNC Wilmington, who's the head coach at NC State. He worked for Rick Pitino, who's one of the best coaches of all time. Yes. And they are huge on player development. You know, throughout our year, you know, throughout the year, we do individual workouts throughout the year. Now, like, even during mid-season, late season, we're still doing individual workouts. I mean, guys are getting shots early in the year. You know, we'll do some things from a standpoint of, like, you know, more skill development, you know, but then once we move into games, we'll do a lot of shooting. That's very important to us. But I do believe, like, you want to leave a better player than you were when you came in the door, regardless if you're a 1-year transfer or a freshman. And I've seen, you know, from this summer, this spring, you know, having our guys in the gym, I've seen those guys get better. And that's something that's huge. And that's something that we sell too. Is like, we're going to make you a better player when you come here.
Absolutely. One of the good friends of the show is actually one of your good friends, and he's one of the best trainers I've seen in Atlanta, Nick Stapleton.
Yeah, he is. He's the real deal. You know, we were college teammates, and I tell people all the time, we'd go to the party on Friday, wake up Saturday morning, and Nick is like, "Hey man, let's get some shots up." And I'm like, "Man, no." Like, so then we'd go to the gym. He'd orchestrate the workout. We'd do our workout, and then after the workout, we'll go and take showers and go to the football game, buy clothes to go hang out the next night, and we're back in the gym. So what he's done and what he's doing here is absolutely fantastic. He does a tremendous job helping young men, and it's in his heart, and it's always been like he's a gym rat through and through. He trains my son as well, so I trust him. Don't trust a lot of people, but I trust him with my son. So he's done a tremendous job, and I do think he is the best trainer. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm be a little biased. He's the best trainer in Georgia.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Nick. Like you said, there are some great trainers in Atlanta, let that be known. But Nick is definitely up there as one of the top ones, hands down. And, it just came to my mind as we were talking about player development. Nick is one of those guys that can turn your kid into something special as well.
He can. I've seen it with my own. I have a hard-headed one that he won't listen to dad right now. He listened to me when he was younger. He has a phase where he's not listening to me, so I can grab him back when he gets a little bit older and have him get in there with our guys and work out and stuff like that. But Nick's done an outstanding job with him and other kids. I've seen it. I've seen his kids. The way he has his kids and where they were a year ago to where they are now. It's remarkable.
So Dr. Love just brought up one of our listeners. He said, I hear Easley Jr. Duquesne got a whip this year, that the guard Jackie Johnson is going to have a great year for them also.
Yeah, I'm not sure who Jackie Johnson is.
I'm not sure either on that one. I'm not sure, but yeah, Coach.
I got you. I get you. So this is funny. Kevin Easley Jr., right? Okay. He's going to Duquesne this year.
Okay, in Pittsburgh.
So that's what that is. Now, that's not my son. He may think I'm talking about him. I listen, this funny story. I have gotten calls about that kid since he was in the 9th grade. So now he's transferred a bunch. Okay. Right? So when he got to college, he went to Chattanooga right after I left Chattanooga. So I got calls, is that your son? So I joked around it for a little bit, but I follow this kid's career. I have coaches calling me, hey, how'd you do in class today? And I joke around with them too. And they look at their phone. Oh man, I called the wrong Kevin. I'm sorry. So that's where that came from. So yeah, I get that now. I get where it took me a little bit, but I get where it came from. That is not my son, by the way.
I got you.
Not out to Dr. Love.
So let me ask you this as well. And, I know you're passionate about your kids finishing a degree. And yes, you have some guys that go overseas. In the long term, what do you try and educate your players on about life in general when we're talking about, we know every kid is not going professional. And then some kids will actually start to realize that by maybe their junior or senior year. Some still hold out hope. But what do you guys really talk about when they start to get to those later years to say, hey, you need to start thinking about when this ball stops bouncing?
Yeah, I think, through basketball, you have a tremendous opportunity to teach young men about life and life lessons. I think it starts with the accountability. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to hold people accountable. We make guys go to class. They don't go to class, they run. That's something that's serious. And I always try to tell them, like, look, if you don't go, we're paying you to go to class and be a student and play ball. If you don't go to class, then that means you're not showing up for work. If this is your job, you're getting fired, period.
Absolutely.
Like, it is what it is. Like, there's no other way to say it. So like, if I allow them to do that and miss class and continue, then I'm not doing them, I am doing them a disservice. So, we want to teach them, like, look, man, like, use basketball to your advantage. Basketball allowed me to get 2 degrees. And it can do the same for other people. It allowed me to travel lots of different places and make a lot of connections and friends that I you know what I mean? So I do think, and I tell them all the time, like, anytime you go to the classroom, present yourself the right way. Represent your brand, because you are a walking interview. Anybody that you meet, it's an interview. And you never know if this person will want to hire you. You never know if you're going to call this person in 3 years and need a job. So you got to take every encounter that you have with someone as an interview session and put your best foot forward. And I think those are some of the life lessons that, I like to give to guys. And, I try to tell them, like, life, this is the best time of your life. You don't have tremendous bills. Now, you may have a bill or two if you're silly with a credit card or something, like we all have been. But, you don't have bills and car notes and house notes. Take advantage of everything that you can right now and soak this up. And even with that degree that you're getting, learn everything that you can, because everyone is not going to play professionally. And that's okay. Yeah. It's truly okay. And I think a lot of times and I'm not going to steal anybody's dream, but everyone comes in this thing thinking, hey, I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a pro. Well, no, it's okay if you want to go and you want to coach. It's okay if you want to go and you want to open your own business. It's okay if you want to run a nonprofit. It's okay if you want to be a doctor. It's okay if you want to be a cop. It's okay. Like, no one's going to think bad about you. Like, you didn't fail anybody. Like, you got an opportunity to play college basketball. A small percentage gets to do that. Very small percentage. You took advantage of your scholarship or your opportunity to be on the team. You made the most of it, and now you're living life.
We got Huff out. He's watching the show.
Oh my God!
Did you see that post right there?
I don't see it.
Okay, so Huff just posted the Love of the Game Life University Basketball Classic for 2022. Life, Voorhees, Dalton State, and a couple more. What do you think, Coach?
Look, I tried to get Coach Huff to come this year. We didn't get it to work out. If Coach Huff wants to come this year, it will be fantastic. I mean, next year, I'm sorry. If he wants to come, and I would 100% have him. Great friend of mine.
Yeah, definitely. Huff's definitely a good guy and a good friend of the show. Man, the Love of the Game Classic right there. Man, you just save my seat, Coach. That's all I ask. Save me a seat. Because I mean, and Dalton State has a great coach as well.
They do,
and they also have a good program. That right there would dispel a lot of rumors that we talked about this evening. Excuse me. The quality of basketball, if that was, and then you name, we could go with any other program. Let's just go with Talladega.
Talladega, yeah, it's a good program.
Can you imagine that style of basketball with those four schools right there? I bet you would have changed a lot of minds. I bet you it would. Because Huff has an up-and-coming program, and he's doing the same thing you're doing. I mean, he's getting those guys ready, and they're going to be tough. And, it's just one of those things where I guarantee you, if people saw that type of basketball, they would leave impressed. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I think it's important. I invite everybody out. I hope we open the gym this year to fans more than we did last year. High schools want to come, let me know. Like, bring you have to do it, because that way I think you're able to get your kids' attention even more, because you can say, you want to play Division I? I'm not sure you can play there. So like, let's get it together now.
Hey, Coach, easily see you done started something already. Now we got listeners saying, hey, could we make that Love the Game Classic MLK weekend of 2023?
Yes, Dre, we cannot do it on MLK weekend. We cannot. Look, first of all, we can't do it because us and Dalton will probably be playing, because we're in the same league next year. So we'll probably even be playing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So if we did it, we would have to be like, they're coming to our classic first this year, and they're going to play opposite us. They're going to, I guess, be the co-host of the classic, so we won't play them, but we'll get to play them. We were supposed to play them this past year, but COVID kind of did us in. So we'll have an opportunity to get that started twice a year. And Alex he's tremendous. He's a good friend of mine, and he's got us a few times. So it's time for us to go up there and kind of even the score a little bit.
Okay. Hey, listen, however that would go, I mean, because now they done started something now, and then now the listeners gonna be asking questions. That would almost have to be a preseason thing or something like that, almost like a November for that to work for all of you guys.
Yeah, we could figure that out. We try to have 2 a year. We've got 1 this year, 1 classic this year. And we're gonna do something really special with that. I can't really say what we're gonna do right now with that particular classic, but it's gonna be really, really special. And then next year we'll try to have it maybe around possibly Thanksgiving or something like that. I know that's a good time when people are coming home from school and can get out, and you won't have a whole lot to do. Eat you some turkey and over one good hoops.
Absolutely. I like the idea. Definitely. I definitely like the idea. I mean, and like Huff is up here saying, he's like, for the NAI culture, to do something like that, that's stuff that, let's be honest, we know Atlanta is a basketball city, and to do something like that and to bring that type of attention to NAI, and get that stigma off, because it just irritates me to no end. I know the type of program you have. I know the type of program Huff is building. I know the type of program Coach at Dalton State, Alex, is building. And then, then to bring another powerhouse like a Stillman or Talladega, man, please, I'm not going to call it, hoops giving, but I'm going to call it's going to be a quality event is what I'm saying. And to do something like that, I know I would be all in. And whatever you do, I'm already supportive of. And I don't live far from Life anyways. So, Coach, my whole thing is just save me some tickets, please, in case you out there selling out games this year.
I promise you will be in the building. You let me know, and you will be in the building.
Definitely, Dre and I definitely want to get up there and check you out, man, because, we know what Life brings to the table, and we know what type of coach you are, man. And, man, I want to just thank you for coming on to the show, because, I know about Life. Dre knows about Life. Where, Huff just checking in on the show, he obviously knows about Life as well. We just wanted the listeners to understand, in other states, there's some quality basketball at NAI. And I'm always an advocate for NAI, D2, D3, because like you said, everybody's not going D1. And a lot of times going D1 is not the right fit for you. And let's be honest, you brought up a great story. A guy comes to Life and said, I should be killing. And he's coming to you like, Coach, I don't understand what's going on. Bruh, this is what it is. This is your level, but you're a role player on this level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, that's hard for some kids to accept. But, man, I'm just looking at this like, there's bigger things in life. You're here. You're going to school. Like you said, you're getting paid to go to school. You're getting a great degree. And so when it's all over, you can get into sport. Maybe if you want to coach, maybe you want to get into communications, or if you, like you said, get into business, chiropractic, whatever the case may be, that's a win. That's a big win. So, hey, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. Look, they trying to close the deal on this Love of the Game class.
We can definitely talk. I'm in the market. I'm in the market for sponsors, and we can figure it out. I got a lot of ideas in my head that we can go with this. So I'm very, very I'm up to talk about it for sure.
Oh yeah, they'll mess around and have it on SUV TV, man.
Look, we had a game on there last year. I hope to have a couple on there this year. Okay. Especially with our classic this year. Would love to do some things, and it's been great, man. I appreciate you having me. I'm always an advocate for this level of ball, not just because I'm here. I just think this is a very misunderstood level.
Absolutely.
And I think, there's people out there that are doing a really, really good job. Coach Payne, he has a great platform that he puts out there talking about the lower levels of ball. And
yes, he does.
The National NAI Hoops Report, they've just kind of come on the scene a little bit, and they're putting things out there. It needs to be more advocates out there for that. And I think, it starts with people just, really having a better understanding of the ball. They say, oh, well, I know everybody says the NAI. I know. You said, but at the end of the day, like, you got to see it for yourself to really understand.
Absolutely. And as Dr. Love saying, he's like, life got 3 national titles, so people out there understand, and then one in the 2000s. So people got to understand what it is, and, I think it's great that Huff supports you as well, with him watching this, and, you guys support each other.
Absolutely.
I think that's great, man. And, man, for me and Dre, man, we'll do whatever to see you guys get to where you were before, because not only does it help Atlanta basketball, it helps you as well. And we want to see you guys succeed, man, because, you're a great guy, man. And I respect you as a coach and a person, man.
Man, I appreciate it. And again, like I said, thanks for having me on. Anytime you want me to come on and talk, I'd love to do it. I appreciate it. I've been waiting on you to call me since we were at Stone Mountain.
I know, man. I know.
Look, I know you had some line to finally got the call to be on this thing, man. But again, like in all seriousness, I appreciate it. Appreciate you giving me the platform to talk about our program, our school, NAIA in general.
Definitely. And like I said, Coach, I'm going to reach out to you because, your schedule's done for this coming season, right?
We're getting ready to put it out. We're probably one game away from putting it out.
Okay.
We have, I'm very, very excited to get a chance to go back to my alma mater and play. It's the first Division I game that I've had since I've been here.
You going to Austin P?
We're going to Austin P to play.
Oh, man, okay.
A lot of teammates, friends, and family will be in the building, and get a chance to give my guys that Division I experience that some of them have had and some of them haven't had. That they've been craving for the last few years, and we'll take it all in and we'll soak it all in and make the best of the experience.
Okay, man. Definitely. Send me your schedule once you have it completed, man.
Okay.
I definitely want to catch at least 2 or 3 games this year, man. I look forward to it. And, Coach Easley, thank you for coming on to the show, man. As I say, anybody that's a good person, man, this definitely won't be your last time coming on the show, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a good one, okay?
All right, brother. You too.
All right, take care. That's Coach Easley from Life University. Definitely a good guy, excellent coach as well. And, a lot of you young kids that are watching this show, listen, Life University is above a lot of you guys' skill set. I just want to be honest with you, and there's no shame in going to Life and getting a great education and moving on to whatever it is in life. Or, as we say, he sent 8 kids professionally. So it's not about going D1 to go play overseas. You can go to Life. So I always ask you guys, what is your end game? And, we'll talk about that a lot more in the future. But I want to bring on our next guest, friend of the show as well. We've reached out and started doing some of the high school coaches to get them some more publicity as well. And this is one of the Atlanta coaches that's definitely up and coming. We got Coach Anton Stroud from Druid Hills High School. How you doing, man?
How you doing, Coach? Everything good?
Coach Stroud, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Give me one sec. Coach Stroud, can you hear me?
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. I want to thank you for coming on to the show, man. Man, we've been rapping for a good, all summer, basically, all summer. And, I just wanted people to understand, what Druid Hills is bringing to the table, since you're one of those up-and-coming coaches, and you got people buzzing about Druid Hills, man.
Yeah, man. We got a good program, man. We got some really, really good kids, man. They work really, really hard. Unfortunately, last year COVID kind of caught us, man. But yeah, we got a good program, man. It starts with the players. I tell people all the time, it's not about me. We got a good staff, but man, it's about them players, man. Them guys, they work hard. They show up for work every day, man. And I'm just fortunate to be in the position that I'm in with these guys as my first, head coaching job. I'm learning on the fly every day, but I've had some great teachers over the years, man. Obviously my granddad and my dad, because they were coaches, and Coach Stinson from Livingstone College, and Coach Kim Rivers from Shiloh, man. I give most of my credit to him, because he gave me my first job, and Coach Huff, man, and obviously again my dad. But I've been around some great coaches, man, and so it's just a testament to those guys. I've just been fortunate, man. I've been lucky. I tell people all the time, I'm lucky, man. I'm just lucky to be in this spot. And just, you know, I just try to pour what I learned into the kids. And, you know, it's just been a good ride for me, man, so far. You know, it's my 12th season as a coach, man. You know, it's just been a good ride. I never thought I would be at this level of coaching, but it's been fun, man. It's been fun. I've been just fortunate, man. Just blessed.
Oh, man, you know, you really burst on the scene not last year, but the year before when you knocked off Woodward, and which were the state champions, man. Everybody was buzzing like, who was Druid Hills knocking off Woodward? You know, because nobody expected that, man. That was one of Woodward's one of their 2 losses for that whole year.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that a Stroud team, you guys come and play incredibly hard and give maximum effort. That's what that's what your teams are known for, man. And even during team camp, it was the same thing. They're like, man, they play incredibly hard. And you know, as you're getting those pieces together when you get those pieces to go with your style of play, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
For sure. You know, it's non-negotiable for us, man. We don't really even talk about it like that, Coach, to be honest. You know, we'll talk about it like day one. And then after that, it's really just non-negotiable. You know, the guys, they just get it in their heart that, you know, we're going to play hard. This is our style. And I let the guys play too, man. I just believe in letting them, you know, we let them play. And as long as, you know, they play hard, man, they're going to be on their floor. You know, as long as they're playing with passion and playing with energy and playing for that name on their chest. You know, they're gonna play, man. You know, I like opening up the bench, and I like to let everybody mostly play, man. You know, I've always been like that since day one. You know, I just believe in the more bodies you have, the more you'll wear people down. And you know, guys just always just play hard, man. I don't know. You know, people always ask me how do y'all play so hard? I really don't have the secret to it, to be honest. Guys just find it in their heart. You know, we talk about it one day. I guess we don't talk about it much, so they just know, but you know, it's just non-negotiable, Coach. You know,
but Stroud, I'm gonna stop you for a second. You do know, because you set that tone and that culture from day one. Right. So yes, you do know that's what you expect out of those kids. So once they buy into what you believe in, and you can see it, man. During team camp, I was like, man, those guys are beasts. They go at it. And you can see the other team just slowly starting to wear down and wear down and wear down. I'll give you a great example. When you told me you got what's the school up there? What's the private school up there by you guys? You played them this summer. Who
do we play this summer?
It's right down the street from Lakeside. The private school. They're pretty good.
Who was over there by Lakeside, Coach?
What's the name of the school?
Not Padilla.
No, not Padilla.
St. Pius.
St. Pius, yeah.
St. Pius, yeah.
Yeah, when you guys beat St. Pius, you know, like I said, you know, everybody looks at saying, and you know, a lot of people even open their eyes like, oh, Druid Hills beat St. Pius. Like, yeah, they beat them by 8 or 10. Like, man, it's that style of play where you are wearing guys down. And, you know, as you're starting to get much better players to attend Druid Hills, man, I'm telling you, people are going to see what a lot of people already know about you as a coach and that style, man. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, we get after it, Coach. That's the main thing, man. We get after it. That's for sure.
So let me ask this. So, you know, you're one of those coaches, Coach Stroud, and, you know, that I not only do I think highly of, not only because of the way you guys play, but how passionate you are about your kids, from not only going to practice, but making sure they're going to class, making sure they have the right GPAs, making sure they're hitting study hall. And, you know, you're giving them that total opportunity. And of course, you know, with your connections, you know, you're making sure that they're at least getting the opportunity to play whatever level, you know, as we know, not D1, but D whatever. You know what I mean?
D free, like Coach Black says.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, they definitely shout out to Coach Black on that one.
Absolutely. That's my guy.
Definitely a friend of the show as well. But,
for sure.
You know, it's that culture, but you back it up because you're one of those coaches that you're doing whatever to try and get a coach, not a coach, a kid to whatever, so they can be successful, man. And to me, that's the biggest thing, Coach Stroud. Like you said, you've been fortunate enough to see this over and over by some really good coaches, from your family members, your grandfather, your dad, Coach Huff, a number of coaches, even the coach over at what's the school over at in Gwinnett that you mentioned?
Oh, Coach Rivers.
Yeah, Coach Rivers. Yeah. So you've been to. I mean, those are all quality programs. We know what Huff's about.
Absolutely.
So you being a part of those type of programs. I mean, you were groomed for this, man. It's your turn now. Plain and simple. It's your turn. And Stroud, man. Like I said, I look forward to seeing what you're doing. And Druid Hills is 5A, right?
4A.
4A. And so who all is in your conference, man?
Man, Arabia Mountain, Marist, Middle Grove, Mays, Hateville Charter, Stevenson.
Gotcha.
Some heavy hitters.
Yes, they're definitely heavy hitters. And are you playing in any of the big tournaments over the holiday?
Yes, we're going to Tournament of Champions over at Wheeler. Coach Thompson. That's my guy, man. That's like my brother, man. He helped me get this job at Druid Hills.
Okay.
Whenever he asked me to come play, I'm coming. But yeah, we'll be over there December the 27th and 28th.
Yes.
And yeah, man, we'll be at the Tournament of Champions, and we look forward to it, man. We're just lucky again. We just blessed to get an invite to these tournaments, man. It's these kids in Georgia, man, they play. I mean, we've been knowing that for a long time. I mean, I'm from here, but obviously born and raised, played here. Man, it's no joke, man. These kids can play, and it's a testament to the trainers. These coaches are just magnificent, man. Like these coaches, man. I'm just trying to figure out like how can I get on these guys' level, man? Because they are some of these coaches, man. They're like geniuses, man. Like we played this summer. And just watching some of these X's and O's that these teams are running, and it's like, man, I need to go to the clinic or whatever y'all doing. I need to be there because these coaches in Georgia are ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Some of this stuff they do is ridiculous. But these players, man, it's just so good, man. These guys can play. Like if I was a college coach, I would absolutely, positively come to Georgia. That would be my first stop. Just like if I was a football coach, my first stop would be Florida and California.
Yes.
But as a basketball coach, man, there's no way in the world as a college coach I wouldn't come to Georgia, man. I would come to Georgia first. I would stop in Atlanta. and, like these, and even the AAU programs, man. Like I go see AAU games in the summertime, and I just can't. I'm just amazed at how good some of these kids are, man. Like these guys can jump. Like when I played, guys could shoot. You had a couple guys that could jump, shoot a little bit. These kids, some of these kids, man, they can jump, shoot, handle it, post up. Mid post, I'm like, man, these dudes, man. But yeah, it's fun, man. I love it. I love my job. I love it. I'm just blessed, man. I don't know. I'm just blessed and fortunate.
Stroud, let me ask you this, man. And what did you think about team camp this summer?
The GHSA. Man,
yes.
It was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a chance to. I'm always stealing plays and sets and stuff. So, for me, man, it was good because I got a chance to see all teams. I got a chance to see Berkmar, Milton, Wheeler, Norcross. I steal all their stuff, and even smaller teams, man. Like some of those smaller teams are just as good as some of those bigger teams. Like. Absolutely. You see some of them 2A schools, man. You go over there, you see it's like they got a 6'8" big and a 6'7" big, and this coach running a flex. And yeah, it was good though, man. It was good. I thought it was good for the kids. I thought it was good for the coaches. Again, it was just good to see the talent. I got a chance. We played against Butler.
Okay.
Butler High School from Augusta, man. Listen, look, man, them guys, hey, them boys can play. So like we just, we got an opportunity. We saw Parkview, the kid from Parkview. The kid from Parkview. What's his name? I forget his name. That kid can play, man. So
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah. He's good. and you know, it was good, man. I just thought the GHSA put on a good show, man. And you know, Coach Thompson and Coach McMillan, those guys, they put something together, man. It was really good. I was just, you know, it make you proud to be a coach in Georgia. When you see
no
stuff
question.
That.
Should it make us proud to be part of the media in Georgia? But once you see something like that, man, it was amazing.
It was amazing, man. I just, you know, shout out to those guys. And again, man, it just makes me proud to just be it's just proud to be a coach in Georgia. I'm lucky. I'm just lucky to be here and just getting the opportunity to be at that thing this summer, man. It was good, man. I just hope I know they're gonna have it for years to come because they just got a good staff of guys. Coach Moultrie and all those guys. And, you know, even when Coach Huff was doing the high school thing, man, it was, you know, I know he was on, you know, doing it all. Mm-hmm. It was good, man. It was good. You know, the first year was all right. And then last year, obviously, the pandemic. But this year, man, they did great. I mean, they did it great. You know, taking it to Lake Point. It was
phenomenal this year. We got more out-of-state teams that want to get in it next year. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, how are we going to do this next year? You know. Man,
I saw some good out-of-state teams, too. Yes. That Dr. Phillips from Florida.
Dr. Phillips with Ernest Uday. Yeah, I met so I actually met the coach from Dr. Phillips last year in Orlando. So I knew all about Ernest. So I was like, hey, there's a monster coming to Atlanta. And a lot of people saw what Ernest could do at 6'10". You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were well coached. They played hard and they were long. So I checked out. Look, man, I just love basketball, so I'm just checking out everybody. And, you know, even those teams in the region I got the chance to see, man. Mays, man, they're good. Those two guards, they got it tough. Very good. We got our hands full with them.
But, Coach, now, you know, I can't let you get off the show without talking about your 6'7" guy, man. I love him, man. He's tough.
Yeah, he's good, man. Keyshawn Evans.
Yes, you know, Keyshawn Evans.
Keyshawn, class of 22, man. Keyshawn, look, man, he's one of my favorite kids that I've had at Druid Hills. He's one of my top 15 guys I've ever had all time, man. I've had some great players. But, man, he just plays hard. He plays gritty, and he's very aggressive. And he's just a good kid, man. He had a great workout today. We worked out, obviously, the day after school. He had a great workout today. The kid's just good, man. He had a great summer. I'm fortunate, man. I'm just fortunate enough to be around him every day. You know, he teaches me post moves. You know, I'm a little guy, so I wasn't really down with the bigs. But I work with the bigs a lot because I'm a good passer. So I try to work with the bigs a lot and try to give him good passes. But he's good, man. Keyshawn's going to be a really, really good college player. And, you know, he's got a lot of room for improvement. You know, he's a really good shooter from the outside. And he posts up well. He's a very, very good offensive rebound, putbacks. Kid's just special, man. He's a special kid. And, you know, it's just going to be fun to see him this year and see him grow. And, you know, he also blocks shots, runs the floor well. He's just an all-around good player, man. And, you know, I'm just blessed to be around him and he's got great parents. And he's just a great kid, man.
You know, man, and when I look at Keyshawn, you know, you know, he can, if he wants to go JUCO, he can do that. I can see him at NAI. I can see him at D2. It's really about how far he really wants to go with this, because I'm sure there'll be a number of coaches interested in his service at 6'7", man.
Man, he's a joy to coach, man. He works hard, man. He's always the first one to finish in the weight room. Like when we tell him, he goes quick and fast. Like we'll bench press and then he'll put it up. What's next? And I was like, you know, dumbbell curls. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Get the 3 sets. What's next? And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like when he get on the floor, man, he's a beast, man. So, hey, man, I'm fortunate, man. I'm lucky, coach.
Man. No, your kids are fortunate, man. I'll say that, man. They're fortunate to have you as a coach, man. I mean, you know, you're passionate about this. You got a great culture over there at Druid Hills. Yeah. I mean, and you actually doing DeKalb County, a favor, man, this year, you know, by having the style of program you have. I mean, everybody knows about Tucker. Everybody knows Tucker is tough. Don't get me wrong. But, absolutely. You know, like I said, you're that up-and-coming coach that's going to put, you know, Druid Hills. Everybody knows about Columbia. Before I even say anything, everybody knows Columbia got a legendary coach. Trust me.
Absolutely. My godfather.
Yeah.
That's my godfather.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
Coach McQuarrie, man. So my dad worked for Coach McQuarrie. I was born in 1988. My dad worked for Coach McQuarrie, I think from like 83 to like 91, 92.
Mm-hmm.
And look, man, they go fishing together, and you know, I'm at Coach McQuarrie house a lot, and that's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, an excellent coach as well. Definitely an excellent coach.
Great man. Excellent man.
Definitely. And you know, Coach, that's what I said. You know, the one thing, you know, and that's another thing why I wanted to bring you on the show. You know, people don't give DeKalb County basketball its due. Like I said, you got the Tuckers, you got the Columbia, and then after that, it's kind of. I mean, when you had the Miller Grove when it was Miller Grove, and you know they're still trying to rebuild what they had before. But as we know, there's some excellent athletes in DeKalb County. It's just that a lot of times they get picked off and go to Cobb or go to Gwinnett. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you look at those kids, you're like, oh, he's from DeKalb. He's from DeKalb. He's from DeKalb. And I think it's time to start building DeKalb County up to what it should be.
Yeah, I mean, with the DeKalb kid, I was obviously a DeKalb kid. What you get out of a DeKalb kid, man, you're going to get toughness. They're going to stand out. So if they do end up in a Gwinnett or a Cobb or Clayton or whatever the case may be, they're going to stand out, man, because they're pretty tough. You know, they gritty. You know, those kids are extremely gritty, man. We just, you know, again, man, with DeKalb County, you know, it's sometimes, you know, we don't get the credit that we're supposed to get, which is a shame because we've had great players come out of DeKalb over the years.
Absolutely.
You know, since I've been coaching, when I played, you know, we had great players when I played, man. And, you know, who went on and flourished and played in college. Some of them played in the NBA. So, you know, for us, man, as DeKalb, again, you know, Miller Grove, you know, the Columbias, Tuckers, we know that they are, you know, some of the, you know, best teams in DeKalb. We know that, but you know, we're not bad, man. We're not bad. You know,
no, not at all.
Hopefully we can add to that list, man, because, you know, and the Lithonians, because, you know, they tough.
Lithonians tough.
Yeah, man. So those teams are good, man. You know, those teams are really good. Southwest DeKalb, my alma mater. So, you know, Coach Brown does a great job with those guys. You know, they always in the mix. So, you know, hopefully we can add to that list, man. We can add to that list. I think you
will, man. I don't even think hopefully. I think in due time you're going to add to it, man. And, you know, I just wanted to bring you on the show for the people that aren't familiar with Druid Hills. If you aren't, you'll get to know them real soon when you get to see them at Tournament of Champions. They got a real strong team coming there, and I think it's only a matter of time before you got them rolling in the regionals and rolling in the states, man.
Hey, man, we trying, man. We trying. I was that first year, man. Boy, it hurt. I tell you, it hurt when we lost to Upson Lee, man. That was a tough one. We lost in the first round of the state, man. We were up 6 with 3 minutes to go, man, and we just showed our youth. But man, I tell you what, we were right there, and we were right there. It was tough, man. It was tough. What a great experience. Now that was a great experience. We went down, and you know, man, we had them up, and I just knew. I kept looking at that clock like, ooh, boy. They were good, man. They tough to beat at home. That crowd is no joke.
Definitely.
No joke.
But Upson Lee is a traditional power, though, as well, though. You know what I'm saying? So they're usually very good on a regular basis. And like I said, your time is coming, man. People are going to look at Druid Hills like Tucker. They're going to look at Druid Hills like Columbia. They're going to look at them, you know, hopefully like the old Miller Grove, because you know you can almost stamp Miller Grove into the state tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they in our region now. I'm looking at the schedule now. Let's see, Miller Grove. Miller Grove, December the 7th and January the 21st.
And I also wanted to bring something up as well, man. And, you know, and this is big not only for you, but for the Druid Hills program. Man, you got 2 games on SUV TV this year, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, man, I hope some of our guys are listening to the podcast because I didn't even tell them. So this is good, man. Yeah, 2 games. 2 games, man. 2 games on SUV TV, December 10th and January 14th.
Okay.
So okay. Hateville Charter.
Okay.
And January the 14th against Mays, which is
wow. Okay. Are those home games? Those are home games, right? Okay.
Home game.
Yeah, me and Dre gonna have to come check out those games on SCV. Well, not we have to come check those games out live, man.
Yeah.
Are those Saturday games?
It is Friday and Friday.
Okay, so it's 2 Friday games. Okay, look at Dre right there, my guy.
I see Dre. That's my man, Dre. That's my man right there, man.
Yeah, man. You know, good people know good people, man. You know what it is.
Man.
You know what you building that program up, man, and you getting a chance to get 2 games on SUV TV, man. That's big time, man. That's big time, boy.
For sure, man. We trying, man. It's I like Druid Hills, man. Matter of fact, I love Druid Hills. I'm gonna be there for a while. Meaning hopefully the rest of my career.
Okay.
I love that school, man. We got good people, man. Our principal is good, Mr. Joyner. AD is special, Coach George. So it's good times over there, man. It really is. I found a home, and, at Druid Hills, and just you get an opportunity to be at a school like that, man. It's like a little college, man. It's right across the street from Emory. Just a good place to be, man. It's the kids are great, and like I said, man, even the regular students, man, who don't play ball, you build a bond with the kids in the class. I teach health and PE, and I love those kids just as much as I love my players.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Man, just fortunate, man. I'm just fortunate enough to give back and give the Cab kid, just give back to my county, give back to my hood, man. It just feels good, it really does.
No question, man. Stroud, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Man, I want to bring you on probably in December after you play in Tournament of Champions so we could talk some more about Tournament of Champions and, type of competition you face there, man.
Hey, man, hopefully it'll be after 2 wins, I hope.
Hey, I hope so too, brother. Definitely hope so. Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing there at Druid Hills, man. Man, I'm proud of you. We talk on a regular basis, man. And I'm proud to see what you're doing there, man. Definitely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm just going to bless, man. And, to God be the glory, man. I just praise God every day I get opportunity to help kids.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. You keep doing what you're doing, brother, and we're going to talk real soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
No problem, Stroud, man. You take care, all right?
All right, you too.
All right. That's Coach Stroud from Druid Hills High School. Definitely one of the good brothers in this whole coaching fraternity here in Atlanta. I tell people all the time, we're blessed as media to be in Atlanta as well. I was in Greensboro, North Carolina this past weekend for the Chris Paul Rising Stars camp, elite camp. And man, let me tell you something. Georgia had about 6 or 7 kids there, but the thing I'm even more proud about is the fact that the media outlets that was there. And listen, I tell people this all the time. I don't look at this as a competition. When Georgia comes and shows out, we show out. We had OST there. We had Hillsman there. We had, myself was there, and we had a couple. We had Trent Markwith there. We had at least 5 or 6 media outlets in another state at an elite event. That says so much about what Georgia's about, not just in basketball, but also what we are as a media. And that's why so many kids get such great exposure. We have great tournament directors. We have great independent AAU teams. We have great shoe teams. That's why I get calls from coaches from all over the country to say, hey, I need Georgia kids. Why? Because we put in the work to make sure these kids get great opportunities. And then we have great media as well. And we have, we got Love of the Game podcast. We got SUV TV. We have great exposure for all of these kids. And we're not even going to talk about, as you can see, the excellent coaches that also move on to be great college coaches as well. So I feel like I'm the lucky one, as Stroud said, because I get to talk to these guys and talk basketball. What better opportunity can I have? Just like this week, we're headed out to Wichita, Kansas to the elite camp out there, the Crossroads Elite Camp. So I get to see a bunch of kids, and we're making a footprint for Georgia as well on a national level, because we get to see kids from other states and see how we line up against them. And, it is what it is, but also from a media standpoint. And I feel like from a media standpoint, we are just so blessed. And, shout out to all the guys, shout out to Love the Game, shout out to, SUV TV, because they do an excellent job at bringing these shows to you guys. And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. It's right at 8:43. I unfortunately have to cut this one short because I wanted to talk some more about the CP3 Elite Camp. I actually will do that next week along with the Crossroads Camp. But thank you guys so much. This is the 25th episode. Look, I'm still an infant in this game. Dre's at what? I think his 100th episode is this week, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm a baby in this, and I just thank you guys for just to keep tuning in and keep listening. I just always wanted to bring the educational component to this, and also not just the educational component, show you guys another way that you can play basketball and it can be affordable, even if you're not on scholarship. As we see in some of these D3s, I want to bring D3s that are affordable. Yes, there are some D3s that cost $40,000 and $50,000, but there's also some D3s that cost $15,000 and $16,000, where they also give out scholarships if you have a 3.5, and if they're giving out $10,000 to $12,000, that means you're paying $4,000 to $5,000. And if you're Pell eligible, you're going to school for free. And we want to keep preaching that message to you guys. So yes, when you guys find these opportunities, then you can get on Twitter with pride and say, blessed to have the opportunity to go to this college and play, where you might not have had it, before. And it's all about education. And I'm going to keep pushing this message for NAIA, D3, D2, JUCO, not just JUCO D1, JUCO D2, JUCO D3, JUCO Independent, where you guys didn't have, you might not have known about these schools, and we're going to keep bringing them on the show so they can talk about their program and enlighten you about stuff you didn't know. And Dr. Love, thank you for the compliment, brother. Man, I'm just going to keep pushing like every other coach as well. This is a grind, and we're going to keep getting at it until we get better and we enlighten all you guys to where we're at. So that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Thank you guys for coming on to the show, or for listening to the show. Next week, we got another good show.